hikers. We're about ready to leave our house here. We got our camper and our boat, and we're gonna head down to where we first met, and we're married.
Yeah, we met in Portage Valley in the summer of '79. Actually, it was right about now,
Right about now,
mid-June.
yeah.
And then we're married in Homer in the November of '81. So it'll be fun to go back, and also Seldovia, where we had our honeymoon.
That's right.
Kind of lots of memories and history. A lot of our history will be on this trip. So. Howdy hikers, packs are on, let's go.
Yeah, we're in Portage Valley in Alaska, and we're gonna hike the Trail of Blue Ice to the very spot where we first met.
Yeah, about 42 years ago today, and that's Explorer Glacier up behind us. Let's go. So this is where it all started 42 years ago this week.
Yeah.
Met in the bunkhouse here in Portage Valley. Like they just had a bear here a couple days ago, a sow and a cub in a campground nearby here. Chased away with a broom and loud noise, but we're gonna be careful. We got our fresh cans of bear spray along and keep our eyes out.
Coming up to a nice waterfall and avalanche chute.
And it's another fine day in Portage Valley. This valley is famous for its inclement weather, because a lot of weather comes through the pass here in Portage. We get a lot of rain, but
And wind.
And wind. It's all good. One special thing when it rains here is you get the little lupin diamonds. This was where the visitor center was. Little building, 30 by 30 maybe, one room, 2 bathrooms. Buses would come in and everybody asked, why is the ice blue? Good question. Anyway, at that time we'd look forward out across the lake here, and everything you see that's green there was all blue ice. Portage Glacier now is receded back around the corner. You can't see it at all. The ice you see is the Burns Glacier that had once joined, and at the time I was here 40 years ago, those two glaciers filled that valley with ice, and now it's full of green and hardly any birds in the lake. Portage Glacier is still around the corner, still dropping a little bit of ice into the lake, and we're going to walk down to the shore and see if we can find some bergs. Here we are at the edge of Portage Lake. You can see the glacial blue color from the glacial flower, the ground up bits of rock. There used to be huge icebergs here because the ice would fill the valley across the way to calve into the lake, and the wind would blow the birds as the wind comes here, and there'd be lots of ice here. People would stop and fill their coolers up. Glacier ice is good with it, it's cold. And then in the 80s, they built a new visitor center here behind us, Beggett Boggs Visitor Center. Replaced the tiny little building that I was a naturalist in.
I was hired as a botanist, and my job was to hike all around the Chugach National Forest and collect plants. I started the herbarium for the Chugach National Forest in 1979.
Summer '79, when I was a naturalist here, one of the hikes I led several times a week was the Byron Ice Worm hike. And we would come here, where I'm standing right now, would have been up in blue ice. We would have had blue ice under our feet right now. And 42 years later, the ice is way up the valley. We'd come up in the evening because the ice worms would come up to the surface of the glacier to feed, and we would find ice worms with visitors, and it was pretty special and pretty magical. We'll look around in these remnant patches of snow and see if there are any ice worms left. I'm not sure. They probably are still up way high in the blue ice. But feeling wistful and a bit humbled how much this geography's changed.
Good thing I haven't changed in 42 years, right?
Right, exactly. Just the same.
You, on the other hand, just have gotten better and better.
He's still working on scoring points. Howdy hikers, this adventure's good cause link is the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center.
Yeah, we're here in Portage Valley, and that Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center is located just across the road from the turn into Portage Valley.
Yeah, and even though we didn't see much wildlife today, we appreciate their research and conservation efforts for wildlife across the state.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
And it's a nice place to visit.
It is.
Lots of wildlife on display.
Right. Thanks.